Hi, my name's Edith. I am 27 years old. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a mother, and I'm the founder of a property app called World. And the app is just literally about, building a friendly community where people can easily interact with each other with regards to anything to do with housing. So what that means is that if you feel pressured with what to ask, when you're about to rent or you're about to buy or you've moved to the UK, the app is trying to create a space whereby you can ask that questions and other users can sort of interact with you and obviously provide their experience as well. So yeah. The idea first came to mind 5 years ago now. So shortly after I'd finished uni, I did study property finance and investment at uni, but once I had graduated, I wasn't too sure whether I wanted to go into property or go into something completely different. So when I had my first job at an estate agency, I just literally took it on stride. It was very, very unusual for me because it wasn't something that I learned or prepared myself to go into. And then through my time during the estate agency, I realized that I was having a lot of clients who would come from other countries and they literally wouldn't know as much as they should, which would give sometimes agents the ability to have that sort of power and that knowledge. And I felt like there should have been a balance with that. And so I thought, okay, what could I do that would be different and that would help without you having to go into an office and actually speaking to a professional? And that's where I thought about the app. Initially it was focused on more on energy and utilities, and then closer to the beginning of this year I thought I want to create a community, and the reason being is because when I started in this industry I was very much, I stood out because of my skin colour and because of the fact I'm a female. So I was used to not seeing people look like me. I didn't have anyone to kind of look up to in regards to what I'm doing now at the time. So I felt that if I could create a space where people felt comfortable and at the same time it came from someone that it's hardly represented within this industry, traditionally male, I think it would be valuable. First one is not having the full expertise in certain areas such as coding or managing an app, how to run an app, how to monetize the app, not having the foundations initially. Also, I would also say trusting people you work with, because for me, I outsource the developers in a different country, so I'm normally on Skype with them. I've never physically met them, so trusting them with the idea and also trusting them to understand that they even understand what I'm trying to sort of build. One of my biggest hurdles was when one of the app developers I used, they actually didn't complete the app and ran away with thousands of pounds. And I think at that time, because I felt like I had started believing again within the app and believing in the idea and the concept. At that point I felt really, really disheartened, just because I literally placed all my egg in one basket, which I think is something I've learned from, how do I put this in a nice way? I chased this guy down. Like I was like, no, this can't really happen. I was speaking to my partner at the time. I was like, no, this cannot happen. This cannot happen. I'm not a social media person, but I literally went to Facebook. I went on Google. I searched because he had signed an NDA with me. So I literally copied and pasted his address on Google to find if I could find anything. And thank God I did find numbers. So I started calling on every number that I could find. And then I did a Google map. I felt like an FBI at that point in time. And then I found his wife on Facebook, so I sent his wife a really long message, and it was a bit emotional, but then I was like, okay, I don't really need the money back. What I just need is all the app work, because now I found another person that can assist me, and I just need all the app work. He was really shocked that I was able to get a hold of him, and then I kept sending emails literally every day. I would send him an email. I would start off in the morning, in the evening, morning again, evening, until he was like, okay, I'll send you everything. And it took about, I would say, 2 weeks, and then I literally passed everything onto the new developer who I started working with. I reminded myself that I've come too far to stop here, and even though the app is free and it's not like I'm making any revenue at the moment, I know the vision I have for it. I know how I want it to sort of make a difference to people. For me, I studied property finance and investment. It was a RICS chartered degree course. And if I'm honest, it didn't really help me with this app. I think I wouldn't say that I don't want to say that you don't need qualifications, because if you want to have qualifications, that's up to you. But personally, in my walk, I would state that it's not a necessity, and you have to really dig deep within yourself to know whether if you really need it. I think most of the experience that I got was actually outside of uni. Reason being is because I don't really have family in this country, so when I left uni, I had to look for a place to rent immediately, and renting means you need to pay the bills. So I needed to make sure that I had a lot of responsibilities at a young age. So because of that, I felt like I needed to learn from the outside world and not from a book. So unfortunately, I didn't have a mentor, which I would have loved to have. So I had to learn on the go, which is why I'd made some mistakes. I don't think I could have seen it any different, if that makes sense. So I think I had to go through those experiences to have the character I have and the stance that I have whilst I'm doing it whilst I'm working on the app at the moment. And I think if I look back at how I started and where I am now, I can only state that it was from my experiences, from working in an estate agency, from dealing with clients abroad and based in the UK, that helped me to navigate how to go about with this app. My piece of advice would be, don't put your eggs in one basket. And I say that because I find that people think that they're gifted in one area, but sometimes you're gifted in several areas, but it's just maybe one it's more dominating than the other. For me, it's just don't put your eggs in one basket, and don't feel pressured to know that you have to know where you need to be at that point in time. It's a road, it's your journey, it's your path. I always say it, so you have to live it to you. It's true. You have to be true to yourself, if that makes sense. And I think that was what I would say to my younger self. I would say to someone, the worst anyone can say to you is no, and no doesn't kill you. So if you have to ask, you ask, if you want to, you just take that initiative to speak out, because if you are confident in yourself and confident in what your capability is, no one should tell you differently. And I think with networking, you need to have that, you need to know that. And it's not something that you learn in a day. It takes a while, everyone's different. Some people are confident on the get-go, they're very sociable, and some are just not as sociable. I think I'm in the middle. First one is the thick skin. I say that wholeheartedly because when I started out, you'd get a lot of abuse from, and when I mean started out, when I started out working in an estate agency before this idea, you'd get a lot of abuse from the phone, and because I'm a black woman as well, people tend to not trust me as much as maybe my colleagues who are not. So initially I felt like I'd let myself down, and sometimes I would go home quite sad about, the the day because I'm on the phones and people are terrorizing me left, right and center. So having a thick skin within this industry is very vital, because I think I even need it with my app as well. I would say confidence, self-confidence you should have. Not being arrogant, but confidence in the sense of you know what you can bring to the table, and even if no one else believes, you believe. You know, having that belief in yourself really goes a long way, you know, especially when you hit a hurdle, or, you know, you're just have a certain situation and you don't know how to go about it. Being confident that, you know, you will go through it helps. And I think my third quality is honesty and integrity. I know sometimes people might be like, think that it's not a business component to be too honest. But for me, growing up, who I am, honesty is the best policy for me, just because I feel people respect you more later on. And I think that where the industry judges you based on what they see, you want to make sure that you are true to yourself, from your physical appearance to what's within you. And I think having that honesty as well makes you stand out, because not a lot of people are honest. You know, and a lot of people, they want to use you for their own gain, for their own monetary gain. And so you have to make sure that you're true to your word, even if they're not true to theirs. I wish I knew about Shadow to Shine, or it was around the time I'd started, because having someone to mentor you and to sort of give you, to enhance your skills, you know, is very vital, is very crucial. I think I had to learn from my mistakes, as I've said before. And I think with Shadow to Shine, the concept or the initiative you guys are placing out there to, I guess, make sure that young people are using their time wisely is such an amazing thing to do. And I feel like if I was given the opportunity, I would definitely use it, because I would have learned from people who've already been there. Barack Obama, who's done his biography with his book, you learn so much in like 3, 4, 5 hours from a chapter, but he's had to learn that in how many years, but he's put it in a book where you can learn it in a shorter space of time. So it's the same concept of going through an organization like yours, having people that you can shadow, I can shadow and I can look to. It makes it easier, because then it means that I'm more confident in what I want to do, and then I also have someone guiding me. And I think that guidance is very crucial, and I think because Shadow to Shine offers that, it's very essential, it's very important.